A new law in Minnesota is dividing the public health community. The law allows blood samples from newborn babies to be kept indefinitely without their parents' consent. State health officials say the blood spots can help doctors detect, treat, and study dozens of diseases. Privacy advocates say they are worried about the implications of routinely storing DNA. CBS News legal analyst Rikki Klieman is with us. Good morning to you, Rikki.
Good morning.
This is such a fascinating topic because this blood spot has always been routinely drawn. But we were always under the impression that after 71 days, it was destroyed. And this law sort of changes that.
Well, sort of changes it in a great big way. So instead of storing a blood spot for 71 days, it will be stored forever or indefinitely. So the question becomes, number one, as a parent, don't I have a right to know about this and really understand it? Doesn't someone explain this to me? And therefore, it's my child, the special relationship that I as a parent have with my child. Don't I have a right to say, I don't want you storing my child's blood, and let alone not knowing where it's going to go and for what purpose it's going to be used.
Can a parent, Rikki, at this point say, I don't want this to happen?
Yes, Anthony, a parent can, but the hoops that the parent has to go through, because the parent has the burden. Instead of it being, we want your consent, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, it leaves the burden, the onus on the parent to somehow go onto the site, go find the form, download the form, hand in the form, and be able to say, I'm opting out. I don't want you using my child's blood for some experimental purpose someday, somewhere.
But you even told us you went on the website and it was really hard to find this form.
It's very difficult to navigate this website. One other thing we need to understand is Minnesota is not leading the nation on August 1st by enacting this law, but these laws are in place all over the country, which is why this whole incident, as a lawyer, this particular law became shocking to me. We have all this blood being stored for various amounts of time around the country, albeit perhaps the government says for a very good public purpose, because we want to be able to study epidemiological diseases, easy for a lawyer to say, and we want to be able to say that we should be looking at genetic deformities and otherwise, even looking for a missing child. So there is a rational basis.
But Rikki, then my question is, so if I'm a parent, what should I be worried about if they're using this information?
Well, I think that what we look at in these days of the NSA and all of the objections around the country that people have had about looking at their phone records, listening to their phone calls, that people have gone up in arms about their privacy. So aren't we really worried, even though we're told the government won't do it, aren't we worried that this data is identifiable and at some day may be used for purposes we don't know about? Might an employer know about it? Might an insurance company know about it? Might law enforcement know about it? Now, the government tells us, no, that is not going to happen. The difficulty in our day and age today, in the 21st century, is that we don't necessarily believe that because we don't know what's going to happen 20 years from now. So that's the concern, what's going to happen. One other thing, whose DNA is it? Who has the right to come back at some point in time? I'm the baby. I grow up and I say, hey, wait a minute. I want my sample back. Who owns it? Who has first dibs on it?
Boy, so many big questions, Rikki. Rikki Klieman, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.